See you.
No, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Sorry. But you were greeted by about two dozen protesters, some of holding signs suggesting competition in the primary next year and protesting your expansion of Medicaid, sales tax, broadening. Reaction to that?
I'm all in favor of protests. I think they're healthy for our system, and I don't get concerned about that.
You're not worried?
I very much enjoyed being there, about 400 or 500 people, and I addressed virtually every issue in the budget, and from what I can tell, people were pretty supportive.
Governor, can you tell us some of the concerns that you heard about your sales tax plan today and what you...
No, I won't. I won't. We're in a process of working through this. The most important thing is that we are able to help small businesses. I believe in our small business plan. I mean, we have a $1.4 net billion tax cut. And I think it actually would be good is if you folks could tell people that. I mean, I always read about all the changes in terms of the base broadening, but I never see anywhere in the story that we're actually going to have a cut in taxes. So I have to go and tell people about that. I got to do it in an unfiltered way. So, and that's okay. You're doing your job. I got to do mine. But at the end of the day, I believe the goal, and I met with the House leaders yesterday with Bill Batchelder and Chairman Omstutz, the goal is important. Small businesses, which create the majority of the jobs in our state, have to be helped. We need a significant tax cut for small businesses, and I believe that an income tax cut is important. And we can maintain those goals, and we can work through the arguments and the disagreements. But at the end of the day, if we keep the goals in mind, we're flexible. Hopefully we'll get it. We'll get something that'll be significant that will help Ohio grow, and that's our whole purpose: creating jobs.
Would you support an expansion of the cat tax?
I'm not going to talk about what I would support and not support here. I'm just telling you that I will work with the legislature. My folks will work with the legislature to come up with something that maintains our goals. We laid out a very broad plan, and our tax cuts are achieved in two ways. One, through the restraint of the government spending, and secondly, through a tax reform. And tax reform is always tricky. You know, it was tricky when Ronald Reagan was president. It's always tricky. But as long as you keep the big goals in mind, which is more jobs, more investment, more help for small business, you'll figure out a way to get there.
In 2011, Governor, you created, maybe not you yourself, but certainly there was a committee, a campaign committee created, if you will, to promote your budget. This budget around is, I think you've said, it's even more complex. There's more that you have to explain, more issues that are in jeopardy. Will you,
I didn't say that.
I didn't say that. The question is, will you have another campaign committee?
Any budget. I haven't even thought about that. Any budget that contains this number of items is challenging. You know, the MBR. Remember the MBR, the famous MBR that we put before the legislature? That was very complicated as well. But the biggest issue is change. You know, I really have not met anybody that takes issue with the fact that we need to help small business and we need to reduce tax rates. I haven't met them yet. I mean, there may be some people out there that practice a different economics than I know, no growth economics, but I have not met anybody, you know, who's involved in all this and doesn't think these are good goals. I have not met anybody yet who would say that we shouldn't put our resources for education to children. I don't know who that is. I mean, nobody might want to say, yeah, it's really, we should target adults, not children. I mean, and the Turnpike, you know, that's a matter of detail. I mean, the Turnpike bill is moving its way through the Senate. It's passed the House. So, you know, I think these things, as people look at them, they're well put together, and I'm confident we're going to get, you know, a large chunk of what we've put in the budget.
Are you concerned or discouraged at all by the comments about the severance tax? Some lawmakers saying that they're not going to support it?
You know, I don't get too discouraged because I played golf last weekend, and I'm telling you, I was really whacking the ball. It was impressive to me, and so I just know that with the severance tax, you know, it's just going to take time, and maybe we're not at the end of it. Look, I'm not going to give up on this as long as I'm around. But again, it's keep the goals in mind, and if somebody can get there a different way, I'm all for it. I just want to make sure that we can get to the place where we are a great job creating state.